Oh, hello, Tashidele. Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. And welcome back to the Lojong session. So, so take a few moments to generate altruistic motivation on the basis of refreshing our refuge in Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha. Then after that, we collectively dedicate some practice of mantra recitation. Of course, dedicate for the well-being of numberless sentient beings, but in particularly in this very southern world, right very now there are tensions of war. Then some places having natural disasters, and still there are COVID difficulties on in many places around the world, and as well as the people who are, suffering from different form of diseases and other troubles, including of those of uh, the dedication lists that we have dedicated the medicine Buddha practice last week. So keeping all these beings in our heart, and we dedicate this practice of the mantra recitation. Zangye je dang zo je jo na la jang ju ba do dan ne ja zo je da je jin zo je be zo nam je do la ben je zangye do ba ra jo zangye je dang zo je jo na la jang ju ba do dan ne ja zo da je jin zo je be zo nam je do la ben je zangye do ba ra jo zangye je dang zo je jo na la jang ju ba do dan ne ja zo je da je jin zo je be zo nam je do la ben je zangye do ba ra jo Sanje je dan zo ye jo na la jan jo ba do dan ni ja zo je da je jin zo je we zo nam je do la ben je san je ro ba ra sem je dam je de wa dan de we jo dan dem ra jo je sem je dam je do nga dan do nga je jo dan da wa jo je sem je dam je do nga me ben de wa dan mi da wa jo je sem je dam je ni re ja dan ni dan da be dan yo la ne ba jo je sem je dam je de wa dan de we jo dan dem ra jo je sem je dam je do nga dan do nga je jo dan da wa jo sem je dam je do nga me ben de wa dan mi da wa jo je sem je dam je ni re ja dan ni dan da be dan yo la ne ba jo je sem je dam je de wa dan de we jo dan dem ra jo je sem je dam je do nga dan do nga je jo dan da wa jo semje damje dunga me ben de wa da me da wa je semje damje ni re ja da ni dan da we da nyo la ne bra ju je gang ge do je ne zo ne da wa damje ba be je re da be ju ne den je ba go dam de la cha je lo do ni ni je zong do ju be la ma je je zen je gang je den de ge cha na be mo den zen ja zo la so wa de zo da ju jin je lo tabje doje jajere doje jinje mendo doje bujomba zeje lombo tabo zebego shaje jabo de la chaze lo daya da o muni muni ma muni yeso ha daya da o muni muni ma muni yeso ha daya da o muni muni ma muni yeso ha daya da o muni muni ma muni yeso Daya da om muni muni ma muni yeso ha daya da om muni muni ma muni yeso ha daya da om muni muni ma muni yeso daya da om gade bara sam gade bodhi yeso ha daya da om gade bara sam gade bodhi yeso Daya da omo gade para sam gade bodhi yeso ha daya da omo gade para sam gade bodhi yeso daya da omo gade para sam gade bodhi yeso ha daya da omo gade para sam gade bodhi yeso Tayada omonga de baranga de bara samga de bodhi yeso ha. Tayada omonga de baranga de bara samga de bodhi yeso. Omo ahun benzan guru pema se de hon. 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 Omo ahun benzan guru Pema se de mi me zeve de jenjere se de mi jembe ombo jambe yang de bo male jumze zamyanda. Ganje jembe zwe jen zonga ba lo zan da be sham la zo de mi me zeve de jenjere se de mi jembe ombo jambe yang de bo male jumze zamyanda. Ganje jembe zwe jen zonga ba lo zan da be sham la zo de mi me zeve de jenjere se de mi jembe ombo jambe yang de bo male jumze zamyanda. Kanje jembe zwe jen zonga ba lo zan da be sham la zo wan de mi me zeve de jen jere se de mi jembe ombo jambe yang de bo ma le jum jen sang yuan da kanje jembe zwe jen zonga lo zan da be sham la zo wan de mi me zeve de jen jere se de mi jembe ombo jambe yang de bo ma le jum jen sang yuan da kanje jembe zwe jen zonga ba lo zan da be sham la zo wan mi me zeve de jen jere se de mi jembe ombo jambe yang de bo ma le jum jen sang yuan da kanje jembe zwe jen zonga ba lo zan da be sham la zo wan mi me zeve de jen jere se de mi jembe ombo jambe yang de bo ma le jum jen sang yuan da kanje jembe zwe jen zonga ba lo zan da be sham la zo wan Omo mani pe me ho, 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 omo mani pe me ho. Omo mani pe me ho, 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 omo mani pe me ho. Omo mani pe me ho, 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 omo mani pe me ho. Omo mani pe me ho, 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 omo mani pe me ho. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, 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 omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha. Taya ta omo beganze ma beganze ranza samu gade zo ha. Taya ta omo beganze ma beganze ranza samu gade zo ha. Taya ta omo beganze ma beganze ranza samu gade zo ha. Taya ta omo beganze Maha Bekanze, Bekanze, Ranza Samu Gade Soha, Dayata Omo Bekanze, Bekanze, Maha Bekanze, Bekanze. Ranza Samu Gade Soha, Dayata Omo Bekanze, Bekanze, Maha Bekanze, Bekanze, Ranza Samu Gade Soha. Dayata Omo Bekanze, Bekanze, Maha Bekanze, Bekanze, Ranza Samu Gade Soha. Tayada omo beganze beganze ma beganze beganze ranza samo gade zo omo mare zema zo omo mare zema zo omo mare zemam zo omo mare zemam zo omo mare zemam zo omo mare zema zo Omo mare zema zo daje jawa tamje dan keba yela samede denye keme zejo do bala me jeje lo daja chungo je zejo do jo me jo yanza semde zemele jo me je ba gole nyu do jab do zo jawa de nyu do da wo ze je ma do jo ne do wa je ja ma le ba de sa la go bara yo. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so so today we're going to start a new text, which is still within the great collections of Lojong treatise. So if you are using the same type of volume, then we are on the page 217. So the title of the text is Bodhisattva Samantabhadra's mind training. So this teaching is a very, very beautiful, and it's going to be extremely beneficial beginner like us that who do have aspiration to practice Bodhisattva's path. Many of us even committed to practice by taking Bodhisattva vows. Then in our day-to-day, we have been trying our very best, to engage engage in the practice of 6 paramitas, the 4 ways of benefiting others. Then through practice of the 6 paramitas, to develop ourselves as well as to channel the deeds of the Bodhisattva to sentient beings. In short, ourselves trying very hard in our day-to-day life to get reminded of the Bodhisattva vows, and to direct, at least with our proper setting of the altruistic intention in the morning, making at least making sure that our days, our activities are very much in the service of the benefit of sentient beings. And for many of us, very much all of us in the samsara, there are so much distractions of delusion, distractions of external factors, including the adversities that comes with mental stress, physical sicknesses, Then environmentally, crisis that comes in our family, in the world, etc. But then still, how many times that we lose our coolness in the focused practice of the Bodhisattva's conduct, or stay steadily foot in the Bodhisattva precept that we have taken. uh, we do fail again and again. In many time that uh, you know sometime get discouraged, lose hope, and for some individuals case, there are even cases that people even give up the Buddhist vow, including of the Dharma practice. Mm? So like that. So it is absolutely not easy for us to always have a full strength of keep up with the Dharma teaching, Dharma practice, keep up with the Bodhisattva's precepts, and the practice of Bodhisattva's conduct in this very challenging world. It's not easy in this very challenging life of these samsaric aggregates. It's not easy, isn't it? So therefore, this teaching can be so helpful to get inspired by the role model of the Bodhisattvas, who at the beginning no different than us, if not worse, but no different than us, and aspire in Bodhisattva's practice similar like how we did. Then travel, not only 1 year, 2 years, one life, years of lifetime in the training, and eventually, become who they are, like such as the eight, common, there are a number of Bodhisattvas, but very common name that we usually hear, the eight Bodhisattvas, like such as Bodhisattva Samantabhadra and Bodhisattva Manjushri, Bodhisattva Cheresik, Bodhisattva Vajapani, Bodhisattva Siddhigava, etc., like that. We usually hear these major eight Bodhisattvas, commonly. So they are the absolute role model of Bodhisattva practice. So from this teaching, then we get to learn from their their aspirations, their commitments, how they keep up with their mindset to not to lose, the sustainability of the Bodhisattva's practice, until they achieve the final purpose of the Bodhisattva's practice, which is bringing all sentient beings in the state of full enlightenment. So especially there are three major attitude that we need to really carve into our mindset, that never to go away. So that is one of them is the expansive thought. So from this teaching, we will learn the attitude of expansive thought, which is very much referring to the immeasurable, the altruistic attitude. Then there's a second thought, the resolute thought, which is the altruistic courage, the greatest courage to work for the benefit of sentient being. Then thirdly, diamond-like thought. You learn about the diamond-like thought, which is very much referring to the mind that is a union of altruistic method and wisdom. Not just bodhicitta, but the heart that you carry always union with the greatest wisdom of emptiness. So so we get to learn all this from this teaching. But before we going into that, I think today very much we will spend time um, the the uh, the very much the altruistic or very much basis of the altruism, which is the great compassion. So there are three type of great compassion. There are three type of great compassion that emphasize in Paramita Sutras, they emphasize in Madhyamika teachings. Of course, it comes from the Buddha's Suttic teaching, the three type of great compassion. The compassion focusing on the sentient being, compassion focusing on their mere phenomena nature, compassion focusing on the sentient beings devoid of objectified focus. So, so in order for us to really have the basis to have a sustainable bodhicitta, even beginner like us, before we even generated the actual bodhisattva's path, but while we are training to have a sustainable training in the development of bodhicitta, we need to have a very stable foundation. So these three great compassion, to knowledge of these three great compassion is very much when you develop that, when you have that wisdom and conviction in these three different type of compassion practices, then we very much like achieve indestructible ground to build the construction of all the development of the altruism, all the way up to enlightenment. So like that. So I think today we will talk about these three type of great compassion. So before going into that, now we refer to the title Bodhisattva Samantabhadra's mind training. So the very much reason of using this particular title Samantabhadra, Samantabhadra is directly referring to the expansive thought, directly referring to the immeasurable kind of heart. Anything to do with the Samantabhadra, it is massive, it is pervasive, it is infinite. I think many of us here be very familiar, whenever we do offerings, whenever we do, any kind of offering, we engage, we integrate the one of the most profound offering practice of the Samantabhadra's clouds of offering, isn't it? And there we find the extensiveness of its practice. So, in another way, since this teaching very much exemplifying by the great bodhisattvas like Samantabhadra, so therefore is also used this particular title. So Bodhisattva Samantabhadra's mind training. In another way to understand is practitioner like ourselves to train our mind to be like the mind of the Bodhisattva, like great expanded mind, altruistic mind of the Bodhisattva like Samantabhadra. So even from the title, we can have a great imprint of the target of cultivation of altruism. So then after that, the salutation, Guru Maitri Namo, homage to my teacher Maitreya. So the Guru Maitri Namo meaning is homage to my teacher Maitreya. So now here, the homage to my teacher. So so not really 100% clear, but very much looking at the entirety of the text is very much like compiled by this great Kadam Sakya master Tsurdimdar. Then the Maitreya here, my teacher, the teacher Maitreya here is referring to his teacher, who is regarded like the second Maitreya in the Tibetan kind of among the practitioners of the Tibetan earlier Kadamba masters. The Mipam Choje is very much referring like the second Maitreya. So therefore, I think this Maitreya is very much, I think, referring to the Mipam Choje. So even in this collection, of these different treatises in the Lojong here, there are so many texts that they're unable to specify exactly who the composer, so didn't really kind of written the name there. So so I'm also here, very much looking at the overall text and for myself coming to this conclusion, so like that. In whatever way, of course, this text is compiled by Shunu Gyalchok, and it is Kadamba's teaching, is great Mahasiddha's teaching, enlightened beings' teaching, and it is very much like a sweep path in the sutric practices. It's a sweep path for us to actualize enlightenment within one very lifetime. So pay homage to the Guru. Then the compiler of the text it says the teacher said. You can also understand that Mipam Choje have said this. You can also understand like that. They say all phenomena are manifestations of your own mind. So you must bring them all together and then engage in your practice. So this is a great instruction, which we like practitioner to make sure that keep in our heart. Whatever practice that we do, in order to really bring absolute benefit, of the practice, the emptiness, the meditation on emptiness, understanding and the meditation on emptiness, and infusing the emptiness intention into any form of practice is the way to bring the pure benefit of the practice, to bring absolute benefit out of the practice, to purify any form of limitations from the practice, limitation to the practice from our side. As a practitioner, when we engage in any form of meditation, any form of practices, Dharma practices, with the intention infused by emptiness understanding, then in that practice there won't be any limitation. There won't be any contaminations. It will be absolutely accumulations of path to liberation. You see, otherwise, without the infusions of emptiness intention, then the most common and most frequent danger that practitioner face is the intrusion by the worldly concern, such as worldly concern. Then most of all, it brings the lacking of proper renunciation. When there's no renunciation, cannot actualize as a path, isn't it? So then without renunciation then cannot become a cause for liberation. So you see, so without the emptiness infusion, then there's very much will be lacking of proper renunciation, which is the basis to bring purity in the practice. Uh, then then as well as in any form of practice, there are practices that to do with receiving blessing, to do with the accumulation of merit by making supplications, prayers, offerings, and purification practices, uh, um, etc. Even in the sutric path, then no question about in the tantric path, uh, the purifications of the impure being, purifications of the impure environment, very much actualizations of the divine pride of pure self practitioner being, and a pure environment of the deity's mandala, etc., including of all those rituals in the practice, all has to be actualized on the basis of emptiness, which will be not possible at all if there's no infusions of emptiness at the beginning of any form of practice. So therefore, in the sutric practices, there's no obvious, there's no obvious kind of mention, when you start to read of the sutras, or do meditation on different stages of the teachings and practices. But as far as concerned with the tantric practices, then it's very much all the mantras is very much start with om. That itself is a reminder. Om represent the emptiness. You see, the so syllable om already signify the first thing is you have to remember the emptiness. You see, then the major, how to say, the usual, any form of pujas, any form of sadhanas, very much start the actual practice of deity yoga with almost sabhava shuddha sarvadhamma sabhava shuddha ham. So that's the emptiness meditation. Then only from there then kick off all the sadhana practices. You see, like that. Then even when Buddha taught the teaching, Buddha, even though historically when we hear about different form of Buddha's teaching, like the three wheel turning, first teaching we regard as a Four Noble Truth, isn't it? But first teaching that Buddha have spoken is emptiness, and that is Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetun Tegen Tadagado Tegenzore Ebambade Mahashamanai Soha. So this is the first thing that Buddha have spoken, and this is the mantra we call as interdependent rising mantra or emptiness mantra, isn't it? So so even when Buddha first time revealed the Dharma that he have realized with emptiness, infusion by emptiness, then rests of the 84,000 different teaching, very much uh, very much designed accordingly to the mental disposition of so many different levels of beings. But in order to bring each and every of those 84,000 teaching of the Dharma as a path to liberation, it has to be infused by emptiness intention. You see, so in one another way of understanding that Buddha Dharma, any form, even one letter of a syllable, na, uh, uh, you know, uh, regarded the preciousness of the entire content of Dharma, in particularly, you know, um, um, okay, yeah. So so even a one single syllable na, or syllable a, yeah, syllable usually in Tibetan, give example of na. So it's very much like giving example of A B C D A. So even a syllable na, that the respect that we have to generate as if it contain entire 84,000 teaching there, whether it comes in the form of letter, whether it comes in the form of visualization, whether it comes in the form, whatever form, that the respect that we offer, the veneration that we offer, as it contains the entire 84,000 teaching, and which in fact it does contain entire 84,000 teaching, because Buddha already consecrated with the emptiness. Buddha already consecrated with Om Yetan Mahedu. So because of that, then why we regard so special about the Kadamba masters, the Kadamba Masidas, such as like Atisha, like such as Domdamba, Lama Tsongkhapa, all of each one of them. There are so many of these great Masidas have actualized enlightenment within one very lifetime, and because of that, they are labeled also as a Kadamba master. One of the reason is they carry that deep understanding and the deep respect into the Dharma. For them, it's like no way they can commit any form of karma of abandoning Dharma. Because for them, it's every single teaching is able to take as a complete path to enlightenment. Even a one single letter that you perceive or that you found in whatever way, even as an object, you found one letter, like such a syllable na, they're able to interpret entire Dharma and complete path to enlightenment. Because of that, called Kadamba. Ka is Buddha's teaching. Damba is very much like kind of finding or able to elucidate or able to apprehend or able to practice. So even there's one letter, they're able to apprehend, they're able to practice, they're able to take onto complete path to enlightenment. That's why you call it Kadamba. So therefore, so therefore, it is very important, as I mentioned at the beginning, like us, like when we do the stages of Lamrim meditation, start with Guru devotion and karma, etc., etc. We hardly remember to first we should meditate on emptiness. We hardly remember that, isn't it? We remember to meditate on emptiness when the emptiness subjects comes up. Then we remember to meditate on emptiness. Otherwise, we forget, isn't it? Then in a different, when we recite different mantras, we hardly reflect on the meaning of emptiness. We hardly remind the understanding of emptiness to infuse to the recitation of mantra. We just recite Om Mani Padme Hum like that, you see. And in many cases, of course, even when we do pujas, even though there's pujas and sadhanas, even though there's very clearly written Om Sabhava Shuddha Savadama Sabhava Shuddhaham, we very much read, but we hardly even meditate, isn't it? We hardly even try to how to say, at least aware of the definition of emptiness in our heart, that which kind of how to say, expand the entirety of the sadhana and practices through the lenses of that emptiness. We hardly do that, isn't it? So that's why this is such a great pit instruction, so which is so wonderful. All phenomena are manifestations of your own mind. So you must bring them all together and then engage in your practice. You see, so at least understand everything is merely labeled by my mind, or everything is merely labeled by mind. Everything exists merely labeled in the name, exists in the merely label. You see, so at least voice out that, and even though you may not totally convince because of our habitual grasping, but at least have some trust to the Buddha, and try to how to say, lead our practice in that way, and gradually get to understand like that. You see, so yeah. Yeah. So then those of us who have some understanding, the absolute understanding of the emptiness, then really to reflect in our mind everything, all phenomena, myself, the practice I do, and rest of the phenomena are lack of inherent existence, lack of substantial existence. It exists merely labeled by mind. So whatever that you are going to do, also in expand in that nature. So this is what I say. You must bring them all together and then engage in your practice. So entire your entire existence of the subject and object all into that. Now on top of that, furthermore, the another important. Furthermore, since this lineage of secret word is the part of your spiritual teacher, you should recognize that all the offerings of the 3 times are the creative play of your teacher and engage in the training of your mind. So an example, such as these mind training teachings are the blessings of your lineage guru. Is the teachings of your spiritual teacher, is very much passed down to you through this unbroken lineage. You see, so whatever all the offerings of the 3 times of past, present, future, all regard as blessings, creative play of your teacher. It's regarded as a blessings of your teacher, including of the fortune that we have, the merit that we have to meet, teaching like Lojong, bodhicitta, emptiness. One should remember that this is through the kindness of Guru, and it is the blessing of the Guru. So when you remember that, then the blockage between you and the Dharma, the barrier between you and the Dharma, and between you and the teacher, between you and the teaching, between you and the all the lineage gurus, between you and all the Bodhisattvas and Buddhas will be opened. You see, so remembering that everything is by the grace of your teacher is very much like the key. You found the right key to open that lock, the lock of the tunnel, of the door, that from where you're going to receive the actual blessing of the Dharma, or actual blessings of the Guru, which is the realization of this mind training in your continuum. You see, so this is not only for this practice, but it is to all the practice. It's the same understanding. When we do sutric practice, when we do tantric practice, any kind of meditation, uh, integrating through the Guru Yoga practice bring the most effective benefit to the disciple to actualize the path. You see, so there are so many reasons. Guru Guru is absolute emanation of the Buddha, embodiment of the Buddha. Guru is the nearest, even physically, even conventionally, the physical existence, to really relate your veneration to he or her, or to relate your practice of accumulation of merit to him or her, is the nearest is the Guru. So that, as usually we understand Guru, the kindness was a knowledge, comparing between Buddha and Guru is equal, but when it comes to kindness, Guru is kinder than all the 3 times Buddhas, you see. And Guru is the, even conventionally, is the one that directly transmitting Dharma blessings, like through initiation, through oral transmission, through commentaries, through granting vows, even though numberless Buddhas out there, but the Guru is the one, is actions of all the Buddhas. You see, Guru is the actions of all the Buddhas. You see, so the actions is in action, action is on you, and you are very much kind of create. You bring about the creation of the blessing of the Dharma, or the practice, or the realization in your continuum, like that. So you will very much see, so many different teachings that directly emphasizing the importance of, any form of practice integrating into Guru Yoga practice. So here is talking about that. So the importance of the emptiness, importance of the Guru Yoga. Then I continue to read. Entrust your tethers to the teacher, and then engage in the practice, from contemplation on impermanent to the ultimate nature of reality. So first, you take refuge in the Guru. So that's the most important, you see. Very much meaning the entrust your tether to the teacher. You see, you come to a position to commit yourself completely to the Guru, complete entrust to the Guru. Then, of course, all of us, I think, maybe in this group, whoever listening this teaching, I'm sure you very much have complete study of Lamrim. Then the very first subject is on Guru Yoga practice, Guru devotion practice. There we, learn about the importance of relying on the Guru, and the disadvantage of not relying on the Guru. Then when you search for the Guru, the qualification of the Guru, the Maitreya have described the 10 different qualities in relation to Mahayanic Guru, that who provide like Bodhisattva vows, provide sutric like commentaries, order transmissions, and then there are Guru that from whom that you receive the Vinaya vows, and the Guru from whom that you receive tantric initiations. So the very much basis quality is the 10 different qualities. And in today's time, it's very, because of our obscuration is so thick, it's so difficult for us to directly able to see all those 10 qualities in the teacher. It's not because of there's a lacking of teacher who carry all the complete 10 qualities, but because of the 5 degenerated time, in particularly, is a very, very destructive, what do you call the destructive of hallucination in today's time. Our minds are very, very degenerated because of always clouded by distractions of hallucinations. So it's so difficult for us to spot the entire 10 qualities, you see. So then if in case you are unable to find the entire 10 qualities, then at least you're able to find basic 3 or 4 qualities or 5 qualities. Someone who is definitely more qualified in those teachings from that you wish to learn, and someone who is ethical, someone who is compassionate. You see, someone who is compassionate. You know, so at least someone who is absolutely compassionate and absolutely subdued by discipline. Who carry a lot of moral ethics, who carry a lot of moral ethics. And who is knowledgeable. Minimum. We need to search for that, and we also learn from Lamrim that ourselves also need to carry basic, qualifications. At least again the 3 basic qualifications that we learn from Lamrim. Uh, we need to carry in order to receive full benefit of the Dharma, full benefit of relying on the Guru. Uh, you know, uh, whether the Guru in actual fact enlightened or not, but when you carry this particular quality, and with basic quality of qualified Guru, then you are able to receive the absolute benefit as equal as you are relying on the Buddha, actual Buddha. And the 3 basic qualities of non-partisan attitude. Your purpose of learning Dharma is only for enlightenment, nothing to do with the samsaric purposes. You see, then who carry the wisdom, who at least know what is right, what is wrong. So or taking all that is beneficial for liberation. And even the Guru may teach something that which is unbeneficial, then you have the wisdom to discard it. And anything that is beneficial for liberation, you take it. Then you need to have a great sense of hardworking effort. With even you meet qualified Guru. uh, uh, you meet qualified Guru, you receive all the complete teaching. You may even have the wisdom. Your purpose is really, your the attitude is completely clear for enlightenment. But then if we don't put effort to practice, we won't gain the result, isn't it? So in short, so following the guideline that how to search for the Guru. So once you find your karmic infinite qualified Guru, then this is the teaching that have to apply. Entrust your theater to the teacher and then engage in the practice. You see, so you should take refuge in the Guru. You should commit yourself completely. You know, uh, not only this lifetime. You make the aspiration. You establish uh, the connection to that Guru. The submission of your Guru is until you achieve enlightenment. That every lifetime, even you are going to take another few eons of life in this samsara, that your Guru always descend to guide you guide you on the path. So that kind of aspiration, you see, like that. Mm. So this is one of a very key factor to receive the Dharma benefit. Otherwise you may be great scholar. You may be have just counting. You have so many teachers. You may be practicing for so many years, but then when it comes to the trust to the Guru, when it comes to the Guru Yoga practice, when it comes to Guru devotion, if you are zero, or if you just have 50% of that quality, or even just 99% of that quality, then there's not much benefit, very minimal benefit of our spiritual practice, you see. So that one of very key foundation is 100% pure Guru devotion practice, Guru Yoga practice. So especially in the West, this is hard. This is hard. Uh, you really need to have a lot of merit, a lot of training to really uh, uh, to have the guts, to have the courage, to have the merit to really to able to practice this unshakable Guru Yoga practice. You see. And when comes to Guru Yoga practice, not just about your thought. It also involves your speech. It also involves your physical manner. It involve when you are with, physically with the guru, and when you are not with physically with your guru. Whether the guru is living or not living, uh, your devotion is, remain indestructible. So that's not easy, isn't it? You see. So when it comes to guru devotion practice, we need to prostrate to someone. You see. So in our this modern world, say we are all equal. Why I should prostrate to somebody? Why I should lower? Why I should sit lower than somebody? Why I should have a food later than somebody? Why I should have a why I need to eat in the you know what's a uh, different kind of quality of plates and the teacups. Why someone so-called guru need to drink in the golden golden cup, but I need to drink in the just ordinary ceramic cup. Why? Why? I'm equal. I'm human being. We fight for equal rights. We fight for equal rights. You see. Yeah, we have the same buttock, and we need to sit. And why guru need to sit on very high stack of cushion, and why I need to sit on only one cushion? We are equal. This is uh, is it like very unfair? You may think I'm very unfair, isn't it? Hmm. Why I also have so many qualities. Why everything praise about guru, praise, page after page praise the guru? But I have so many qualities. Why I should be, why people don't praise me? uh, you see. Then yeah, yeah, there are so many things, you see. uh, so therefore there are, you know it always has been, and especially more than ever in today's time, especially in today's modern time, there's a lot of misunderstanding, in relation to guru yoga practice, in relation to guru devotion, when in relation to the practice of, when you're relating to the guru, uh, like making such a high throne for the gurus to sit on. uh, hmm, then, there's so many decorations, so many, so much importance that you put towards the guru. uh, for many people find it's very strange. It's irrelevant, it's unfair. You see. So, but but in actual fact, all these are the, uh, uh, how to say, mm, as mentioned, as read before, creative play of your teacher to bring, all these are the creative play of your teacher bring, the showers of the Dharma blessings, merits, purifications in us, because of that. You see. So, uh, yeah, like that. Sometimes I find, even as an organization, or even like different Dharma centers, you know, uh, from different traditions, uh, especially as a group of, like, let's say, like a monastery, or or small group of, like, Dharma centers. The success, this I myself felt strongly, and I kind of witnessed, and even I do not wish to believe in it, but it keep convincing me in many times that the success of that Dharma center, the success of that monastery, the success of that Guru or Dharma practitioner, I see there's a lot of sign from how much the respect that you offer to your Guru. Even just the physical sign of, arranging the throne, the centers where has a higher throne, more decorative, more beautiful, more elegant. The Guru's throne makes so difference of the expansion, the flourish of the center, expansions of the activities of the center, um, uh, clearing of the obstacle of that different center. I realized that. I realized that even to the monasteries, the certain monastery, they start with just they start with the scratch, but the first thing they focus on that, develop within such a short period of time, develop externally, then the practitioners in it, the sangha, I realized that, and there are some, some places, uh, teacher is very much like like a labor work, who teach the Dharma, there's no respect at all for when they provide the Dharma, the sittings, and the veneration by the listeners, uh, then you see there's not much blessing, not much benefit. It's very much like empty echo. There's a lot of Dharma teaching going on, but really to subdue the heart of the listeners is very, very, very hard. Like in a great tantric monastery, like such as lower tantric college, there's the abbot of the tantric college, almost every 3 years, 4 years they change. And the responsibility of the tantric college, the abbot, is to there are few spiritual responsibility to give transmissions of like Gurya Samaja, tantric, root texts, etc., etc. And uh, and the most of the listener to those teachings, beside the local tantric students, are the geshes, those who graduate geshe from great monasteries. Then they go to tantric college for 1 year to study tantra. Then that time, they receive the transmission of all these tantric treatises, and very, very straightforward and clearly stated that if you don't regard and respect, the preciousness, like that abbot as an embodiment of the Guru Vajradhara, or the lineage, the lineage of the transmission of this tantric treatise, then the receiver, even though you are in the class and you receive it, you will not receive the transmission. You are not qualified, or you will not receive the transmission, even though you never miss the class. Then there are actual example among the geshes, who really realize that, some individuals, they really cannot afford to submit themselves to someone that who is first time meeting in the tantric college, who was newly appointed as abbot, and you are a senior monk who just graduated as a geshe. Now you are suddenly asked you to regard someone as a guru, and the lineage guru of this tantric treatise, and to devote as your guru. It's not easy, isn't it? It's not easy. For some, they refuse. They're very, 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 very difficult. They refuse to regard as a guru, but they still want to learn. So they go to the teaching, and in their life, there are many senior geshes who have done that for past 15, 20 years. Later, they realize that the impact that they receive, there's no kind of spiritual benefit they are receiving from that course like that, you see. So in any way, so here I'm talking about the importance of the guru devotion, guru yoga practice, you see. So how much you can offer respect physically, verbally, then thoughts, and according with what taught in Lamrim, what we learn from the 50 verses of the Guru Yoga practice, what we learn from the Lama Sherpa, so then what we learn from how Mila Repa, devote to Marpa, how Lama Tsongkhapa devote to his guru, how Lama Tsongkhapa is a disciple to devote to his, him, etc., etc. Then in our own, in FPMD organization, like how Jabja Lama Sovereignbache, devote to His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Yeshe, and then there are also, amazing disciples that who, really devote to, our precious main guru, Lama Sovereignbache, like that. So whatever it is, you individually you may have your different gurus from different traditions, whatever, what matters is the complete entrust to your teacher, then engage in the practice of any level of practice you practice, and where the spiritual benefits comes out. So that's the point. So entrust your teacher to the teacher, and then engage in the practice of contemplation on an impermanence and ultimate nature of reality, like that. So then I continue reading. For this, you should establish the perfect space-like view, wherein all phenomena of silent existence and beyond are primordially devoid of origination and cessation, and transcend all boundaries of conceptual elaboration. Earlier, that we talk about, the first wording of in this text, all phenomena are manifestation of your own mind. We emphasize strongly about the importance of emptiness, and this particular reading here is the idea that you need to have, the knowledge that you need to have, the meditation that you need to build in your practice. The emptiness meditation, like space-like view, space-like view, space-like emptiness. So whether space is very much the view that you have when you are in meditative equipoise on emptiness, which is the space-like emptiness view. You see, so completely void of substantial entity in entire existence, including of that wisdom that you are cultivating it. That wisdom, that nature that you are meditating on it. Even the nature of that also, you see space-like view, which is completely free of completely free of substantial entity. Substantial entity. It's completely lack of inherent existence, which is meaning, free of substantial entity. And you come to, when you have that view, and you pervade this view to all phenomena and all the concept that comes in your way, whenever you relate your senses to the object, you try to pervade by the space-like view. So in that way, then even when you think of samsara and the nirvana, you also see them in the space-like view of, all can able to understand in the one taste of emptiness, which is primordially devoid of origin and the cessation, origin, cessation, and transcendental or boundaries of conceptual elaboration. So, you see, the silent existent then the the origin of the samsara, the ignorant, and the freedom from samsara, the liberation, everything able to see without any boundary of the conceptual elaborations. So at this very stage, we, every phenomena are in different entity, even in absolute view that we have, which is the wrong view, hallucinated view. You see, so those boundaries are the conceptual elaborations. You see, like such as samsara is different from nirvana. This is the boundary that you set from the conceptual elaborations, which is false view. You see, then suffering and pain, me and you, one and many, south and west, east and west, front and back, short and tall. You see, water and the bottle. Everything has its own boundary. Everything that we view, there's an inherent boundary, inherent entity, and that inherent entity build the inherent boundary, and that inherent boundary is a false view. It simply is a conceptual elaboration, and that conceptual elaboration is the mistaken mind, mistaken view. You see, so we have to get to understand that. Then carrying the space-like view, we're able to see everything in one taste. Samsara, nirvana in one taste, you and me in one taste. You see, so this view, when it illustrate, when it express in the altruistic intention, then you see there's no difference between, even conventionally, you don't see difference between you and me. You and me are same. You see, you and me are same. The sameness in wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. Sameness in having Buddha nature. You see, so then from there, there's a more solid foundation to develop the genuine sense of great compassion and etc. like that. So you see, so having the basic understanding of the absolute truth, which we just discussed, then now you train into the three type of great compassion. So then I will read here. You should train in the skill of non-cessation and cultivate the three type of compassion here. You see, first you should train in the skill of non-cessation. Non-cessation meaning here is in samsaric being, in its ultimate nature, there's nothing to achieve cessation. You see, the cessation is in fact already existent within its nature, which is the emptiness of the sentient being, emptiness in the emptiness of the samsara. You see, so the samsara, the sentient being, the suffering, all these are very much of your confusion grasping, very much of confusion, and you apprehend on that confusion as a truth, and you grasp onto it. Then therefore, then you experience the division, you experience the suffering, you experience the samsara. You see, so when you really realize the emptiness, then you don't have to experience those divisions. You see, you see, even though you're physically because of the byproduct of tangible phenomena, and the karma of the past, that it may still have some inconvenience, but as far as concerned the person, you experience the liberation. You don't experience samsara. even while you are living among the samsaric beings, but you are liberated being, you achieve the cessation like that. So you should train in the skill of non-cessation, then cultivate the three types of compassion. So first one is focusing on sentient being, compassion or focusing on sentient being. So you see, so I will read everything, then I will explain. The first one is focusing on sentient being. Second is focusing on their mere phenomenal nature. And the third, devoid of objectified focus. You should cultivate the three equanimities toward others, free of discriminations of close and distant, free of discrimination in your respect, and free of discriminations of the qualities of good and bad. Cultivate these three equalities. Furthermore, you should train to cultivate the expansive thought, the resolute thought, and the diamond-like thought. So now, the first type of compassion is very much referring to the understanding the conventional, nature of the sentient being, such as the suffering nature, who carry the suffering of suffering of change, and the pervasive suffering. In particularly, here focusing on the sentient being, the compassion that you generate by focusing on the sentient beings' conventional nature of the pervasive suffering. So whenever you think of the suffering of sentient being and you generate compassion, so that compassion is in the category of the first type of compassion. When you think of the hell beings, suffering, and you generate great compassion to the hell being, that in the category of first type of compassion. The similar goes to the animal. So when you think of the general suffering of animal, which is the contaminatory aggregates, the samsara, then specific suffering of the animal realm, then you generate compassion, or that is the first type of compassion. So as we learn from Lamrim, all this detail, isn't it? The suffering of the six realms. So the detailed explanation of the suffering of six realms is for us to develop the first type of great compassion to that, and it is a very wonderful meditation object. In order for us to develop genuine great compassion, for us to establish stable foundation for bodhicitta, to accumulate extensive merit, to able to bring great benefit to the sentient beings' well-being. Then when you meditate on think of the suffering of sentient being, and you meditate on that, is meditation on the first type of compassion. Now the second type of compassion, focusing on their mere phenomenal nature, that is referring to the first one in Tibetan called the Semjelami Binyingje. Then the second one is the focusing on the mere nature of on their mere phenomenal nature. So that is the understanding the nature of the sentient beings lies in the impermanent nature. So focusing on the nature of impermanent of the sentient being, then you generate compassion on the basis of that, is the second type of generation of compassion. You see, so when you do meditation, you understand that why sentient beings are suffering, Why sentient beings are in samsara? Because of carrying the wrong view of uh, uh, you know, the wrong view of uh, apprehending things, uh, things in the nature of impermanent as a permanent nature. A permanent nature. So the main, one of the confusion, the delusion, the ignorance that sentient being carry, because of the wrong view of the permanent view. Because of that, you commit graspings, delusions, the rest of the delusions. Because that, you commit karma. Because that, then you actualize samsara. Even in this very lifetime, there are so many of the suffering that we suffer as a sentient being is because of the permanent grasping. Like, things and events, the good things that in our life, we hold them as a permanent. And in the actual fact, there lies in the nature impermanent. So whenever the changes comes in the good things in our life, we suffer. Then we have a permanent grasping towards the unpleasant things, unfavorable things that comes in our way. In fact, it lies in the nature of impermanent, but then we have a grasping as if it falls onto you forever. It's very much like kind of like, you are completely succumb into the that adversity, and because that we suffer so much, we can't let go. There are so many negative experiences of the past that which in by nature is already gone, cannot bring back, but because of we grasp onto the what have happened in the past, uh, even in the present moment, holding on like, ever existent, because that we suffer so much. We suffer so much, isn't it? So that's so true. So now, understanding that, why sentient beings are suffer because of the permanent grasping. Why I am, going through so many forms of suffering because of permanent grasping. Then when you generate, uh, you know, then express express the compassion. May these sentient beings be free from the permanent grasping, and actualize, peerless happiness. So generating, that attitude is the second category of the compassion. You see, like that. Mm. So first one is Samjala Mi Binyingje, then second one is Chola Mi Binyingje, and third one is Mingmela Mi Binyingje. So the third one, the devoid of objectified focus. So the third type of the compassion is understanding the emptiness nature of the sentient being, and why sentient beings suffer. Why I am in samsara, why other sentient beings are in the six realms, because of the ignorant of wrong view, ignorant of inherent existence, ignorant of inherent grasping, true existent grasping, permanent grasping, etc., etc. You see, so because of the root defilement, or the root ignorant of the wrong view, you commit all sort of delusions, then karma, and that's why then bring about samsara experience. So therefore, in order for us to uh, absolutely free from entirety of the false, then we need to realize the wisdom realizing of emptiness. You see, so then by understanding that, then you generate compassion to the sentient being. An example like yourself, one of the sentient being, like yourself, why I am suffer because of the ignorant. So therefore, may I be free from the ignorant and actualize the wisdom of emptiness, and may I actualize the peerless happiness of enlightenment. So that is the compassion in relation to the third category. So if you generate compassion that to your pet, your partner, the rest of the sentient being, that why there are so many problems in the world, in the people, why there are so many sickness going on, why there are so many conflicts going on. Whenever we think of these conflicts around the world, uh, we have to understand that this is due to ignorant. Because of that, there's so much adversities are happening. Uh, so then, uh, may then you express your heart. May all these sentient beings free from the ignorant of the inherent grasping, and may each and every of these sentient beings actualize altruistic wisdom of emptiness and actualize the absolute, freedom of enlightenment without delay even a moment. So when you express that, you express the third level of compassion. So that is the in relation to the emptiness. So first, in relation to pervasive suffering and the sufferings, or the three types of sufferings. Second, in relation to the conventional nature of impermanent. Third is the ultimate nature of emptiness. Okay, so these three is such a wonderful object of our meditation. And most of the time we only focus on the first. We hardly think of doing meditation to the second two. So that's why sometimes we have a lot of limitation in developing great compassion, steady great compassion. And we become so vulnerable. It's just little obstacle comes in our way, and as I said at the beginning of the session, we are so fragile, so easy to give up, so it is to discourage, so easy to get offended in the practice of service, in the practice of Bodhisattva's conduct, in the service of sentient being. We are so easy to get hurt, so easy to fail in our practice. Is because of we don't have a solid kind of compassion, because we normally meditate only on the first one and we hardly meditate on the second two. So if we are able to meditate more, all these three together, it really, really build a very stable foundation of compassion in our system. Then from there, when if, we take Bodhisattva vow and we practice Bodhisattva precept, become very solid practice, sustainable practice, never giving up practice. You see, then when we develop bodhicitta, then the bodhicitta nothing will interfere, nothing will, nothing will obstacle to degenerate the bodhicitta in our heart. So like that. You see, so these three. Compassion is very, very, very important. Okay, so I hope by now you know how to meditate on all the three type of compassion. So I will stop here for this week. Try to focus on the meditation of these three type of compassion. Okay, so try to do general, of all sentient being, understanding of general suffering of samsara. Then, if you have time, do one by one, focusing of the hell being, Holy Ghost, animal, human, God, demigod, focusing on the general suffering, then specific suffering of each of the different realm. Then you generate compassion, first compassion. Then second one, overall, you think of the impermanent nature and the cause of the suffering, of the permanent grasping of all sentient beings. Then, in particularly, think of yourself, think of your family members, and especially those who are going through suffering. Then you meditate on that. Then you dedicate the practice for them. Then the third one is again, overall the entire phenomena. Think of emptiness. Then specifically, the main root cause of the suffering is because of the ignorance of the wrong view of inherent existence. Try to meditate, on that, and uh, uh, then you understand the meaning of the emptiness. Then you express the aspiration to all sentient beings to be awakened in that wisdom, and actualize the freedom of enlightenment, like that. So so you can meditate. This can be a great healing practice for your own self and also for others, and also very powerful way to consecrate yourself, consecrate others, consecrate the world for better place. Okay, so like that. So yeah, so I will stop here. Thank you. So whatever merit that we accumulate individually, collectively, may it be complete cause for noble sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric suffering and actualize state of full enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause all the people who are suffering from pandemic to be free from the pandemic and actualize a healthy, meaningful life. May whoever suffering and going through different form of diseases, different form of obesities, may our collective merit be complete cause for them to overcome that and actualize meaningful life. May this merit be complete cause for all the frontline people who serve for the needy one, always enjoy good health, long life, prosperity, and fulfill all their wishes accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause for anyone who passed away, in particular in the last 49 days, be free from suffering of death, suffering of intermediate death, suffering of rebirth, and actualize the enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. There's a danger of war in the world, natural disasters and famines and diseases be free. May this merit be a complete antidote to that. And may all this, may this collective merit be a complete cause. All the world leaders, the leaders of organizations, the leaders of the family, yourself who lead your life, be free from all the negative emotions and fill the heart with attitude of loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom of selfless and emptiness. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the good people in this world, like such as His Honest Lama, all your spiritual gurus, and yourself and your family members, always enjoy good health, a long life, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the religious institutions, all the Dharma centers around the world, all the centers in Australia, study groups, and be free from inner outer sector obstacles and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the Dharma in most extensive learning and realization on the stages of path. May this collective merit be a complete cause. May we able to develop the full realization on these three different kind of compassion and able to establish a very steady foundation for the development of bodhicitta for the benefit of the noblest sentient beings, enlightenment. To dedicate ourselves, the merit and the purpose that we dedicate, all to be understand in the nature of emptiness. Yeah, so if you have any specific dedication, please do so while I recite these prayers. O jawade nyu do dala mazanje do jone do aje jamale bade sala go baje chanjo samjore baje maje banam je jawani mom me kone go do pe baje to ni daware baje maje banam je jawani mom me kone go do pe baje mi daware baje maje banam je jawani mom me kone go do pe baje kare rawe go be singa de benda de wa male jomene jere se mate je jazo shabe se de bato de ju to se ni jawo nyame de je pe go do baje chozo go bele mate do bata so de je ko do she de ju chozo me ku zera de ma tele ju je ma lo sa de be me sa do ni to mo se de je ju chozo me ku Jawa kundo yang dalam ada pemicu je pelalo je sadalam je dalam doje change gomba nyodo shop pama zemje damje den dan yo jingero damje to to wadu jo sama kana sojo bade ta kunji molam dhujuro je semje ne baje ne banyo to ne la da jo do bene ne mala bada do jo me baje jambe pawo je ta je ma to kudo sabo de de ta kunji je taro jawa de ta damje ro to so je be jawa damje to ngo kala chu da je be so de sambo je rab do ngo warai je. Thank you very much. Please take good care of yourself and please take good care of each other. Take care. See you next week.